Hello and welcome back to the Infinite Edge podcast sponsored by InfiniteEdgeHealthWellness.com. I'm here today with Jeremy. Nate unfortunately cannot be with us, but that is okay as we will keep pushing on. Today we're going to go into the sweeter parts of life and we're going to discuss some sugar topics with you guys. Keep in mind as we go through this cast, me and Jeremy are not medical professionals, and Nate's the only one that said maybe later, so still no medical professionals. So this is either research or opinion based items. I will tell you this, I love sugar jokes. They never get sour. All right, so that's your oh, there's the drums. A little late, but we
It
won't get
it
into it.
it delayed like crazy. That was unfortunate. I clicked it and it didn't go. So
I think people would be
I
more
kind
thrown
of failed
off
my
if we
part.
didn't mess up a dad joke. But as long as they're there, I
That's
think it's
fair.
okay.
But isn't that the whole point of dad jokes is they're messed up and
Yeah, I think we're good with
they
it.
they they're just.
So as we talk about sugar and food items, obviously there's more to looking at your ingredients, which I guess the water bottle doesn't have one on there, but your ingredients than looking for just the word sugar. So you got to know its aliases,
Right.
right? So as we go into it, obviously, I think a more common one that most of us know is syrup, whether it be corn syrup, rice syrup, or malt syrup. Also, words that end in OSE. So the suffix OSE, which I wasn't necessarily really familiar with. Obviously, some of these words that I'll go through you've heard of, whether it be fructose or sucrose, maltose, and dextrose. Those are the most common ones.
Right. That was an interesting one for me when I did finally learn about that through doing research in the past, right? And a lot of it stemmed from from conversations with Nate. I didn't realize that all of those are syrups. I know that fructose corn syrup, right? We all know that one. That's
Right.
in everything, right? I knew
Seems to
that one,
be.
but I didn't realize that all of the other ones were hidden names for it as well.
Well, other than, looking for syrup or the OSE suffix, you can also look for, just different ways of them saying sugar. Whether they say raw sugar, cane sugar, brown sugar, or convection sugar. Is that how you say that one? That's the one people
Conf-
cook with, right? Like bake.
confectionery,
That's the one people bake with.
confectionery.
I think it's a
Yeah,
baking one.
typically.
Yeah.
It's like powdered sugar, I think, if I'm not wrong.
And then there's some kind of random ones, whether you talk about honey, which is sweet, corn sweetener, agave nectar, barley malt, fruit juice concentrates, and panela. So, I had no clue what panela was when I looked this up, right? So,
Yeah,
just in case you don't know, Jeremy, or everyone
I
else doesn't
don't.
know, I'm going to tell you because I had to look it up. So,
Cool.
panela is a type of refined cane sugar, and it's typically used in Central America, Mexico, Latin America, Portugal, and Spain. So it's more of a Hispanic sugar apparently, or one that they probably came from Spain at some point and they just happen to have an abundance of.
Right. That one's new because I hadn't even heard of that one till this. Um, yeah, that's I mean interesting.
Yeah, all I know is I probably consume more sugar than I should.
I think most of us do. I think that's part of the thing that part of the know the alias is right is because you're like, oh, I don't see sugar in this one,
And
and turns out there is. It's just under a different name,
and
and so I think. Go ahead.
I was going
Sorry.
to say the thing is that we know too is obviously we probably consume too much sugar. Most people do as well. And just so you know how much is too much, the American Heart Association recommends that adult women eat no more than 24 grams or 6 teaspoons of added beyond natural occurring sugars. Sugar and for men no more than 36 grams or 9 teaspoons per day. The current average is over 30 teaspoons a day.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So everybody's like triple consuming
Yeah,
or more than that
which is
really.
which is kind of insane numbers when you really start to talk about it because, I mean, that it's insanely small for what you start thinking about when you really think about it in teaspoons. Okay, so we're looking at the max, for men at 9 teaspoons a day. Like we all know what a teaspoon is. There's not very much there. There's more than that in a can of pop. There's more than that in your cereal in the morning. There's more than that in your coffee creamer. And so by the time you stack it all together, man, it get really, really intense of getting way over past what the recommended limit is.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of sugar going around. Also, sugar is one of the world's oldest ingredients. The people of New Guinea were most likely the first to domesticate sugar cane around 8000 BC. So this stuff is real old, right?
Well, yeah, everyone likes sweetness.
Well, some of us are a bit sour, but yeah, I enjoy it every once in a while.
It's fair.
Also, too much sugar can increase your overall risk of heart disease. In fact, sugar actually changes the muscle protein of the heart, as well as the pumping mechanics of the heart. And when everybody knows heart disease is up, right? I'm guessing sugar usage
Yep.
is probably up as well. So,
Yep.
and not necessarily on the lighter side of things. I kind of like the line it gave at the beginning. Is that sugar threatens more than thin waistlines, which I don't have one of those anyways. But it also has been associated with several conditions and diseases, including type 2 diabetes, arthritis. I'm not sure how sugar messes with arthritis, other than the weight, because I know the weight makes it harder. So I have to check that one out at some point. Acne.
Right.
So for the younger kids, if you're going through acne in high school and you don't want it as bad, maybe cut out some of that sugar and see what you got. And then as we talked about heart disease, apparently sugar can also cause depression. So that's an interesting one.
Wow.
I don't know if that's a chemical thing or.
I mean, I feel like it has to be when your body is over processing different pieces and parts. It can affect every piece and part.
Well, let's be honest too. I mean, if sugar affects your waistline and you get a little chubby, that could cause depression too. So it probably hits it in more than one way.
Well, that, and especially if it's affecting, like it says, arthritis or any of your other health issues, the less good you feel, whether it not be because of your appearance, right? If you're feeling sore or tired or worn out or have headaches or whatever it may be, that's going to affect your mood as well. So, I mean, there is definitely that. So as they as we overindulge in what they recommend for our intake of sugar, well, it turns out then that can affect a lot of other things with us as well.
Yeah. Also, it can cause yeast infections and cancer. I'm not sure what all cancers it is linked to. I feel like today they say everything is linked to cancer.
Yeah. Well, cancer does kind of run rampant in our world these days, unfortunately.
Yeah. A lot of sugars and
You know,
processed stuff, right?
right. And there is, and that's really the biggest thing with dealing with your sugars is to watch your intake and watch what you do with them. So, if you want something that's got a little more sweet, then you can opt for um, different different options to do it. They recommend watering down your juices or your sodas or things like that to kind of give your intake um, to your intake to your sugar versus your water to help it not be so intense. Um, Go for whole wheat option cereals and stuff like that instead of you know fruity pebbles, right? Which is hard because I love fruity pebbles. Weird kick from last week. Anywho, um, stay away from a lot of the highly sweetened yogurts. You
Hmm.
can sweeten your plain yogurts with fruits and natural sugars, things that occur to you. That tends to be a lot more healthy option. There's a lot of sugar in all of the flavored yogurts as well, and those are super common. People are like, oh yeah, it's a great healthier option. It's absolutely healthier than a lot, but it also still is heavily over sugared for what you should have your intake at.
Yeah, because we're dealing with teaspoons, right? So it's not very much.
Correct. Absolutely. So I mean, in the end, that's really what it all comes down to. And as we try to move forward and live our best lives, is to maintain all of the things that you can. Every day doesn't always go the way that it should. You don't always have the best diet and the best exercise and the best whatever, but do everything you can to enhance your life and work with your medical professionals or trainers or dietitians or whoever to help give you the best edge that you can, because that's always the goal.
Yeah, so I guess just like we tell you every week, we'll be back next week. But first, we want to go into some small business love, as we like to call it, right? As we're a small business, we want to
Absolutely.
support the other small businesses, and not even just small businesses, just people trying to get out there and promote themselves a little bit, like they do on the Subtle
Right.
Flex podcast, ran by Fred LaFeo, where they do a lot of sports from pro wrestling to football to basketball to baseball. You will catch me on there sometimes. I've been pushing. We need to start posting on there more. So hopefully we will get that done soon. Also, jumping onto Facebook, you can get on Laser Bakes and their handcrafted wood decorations, more small items and trinkets, and it's really cool stuff. Um, Also, jump on the Bee's Knees. I'm not sure how much longer she will be making stuff currently, as she is pregnant and is due soon. I don't know how soon, but until she is, she's still making customized shirts and not cups, but the stuff that like cup labels and stuff like that. So if you
Sure.
tell them what you like, they can make it for you. And then for your homeopathic remedies, up in Columbia City, which is near Fort Wayne, Indiana, you can stop by Sage and Stone. And they have other little companies right there with them, right?
Correct. Yeah, they have a lot of independent, other crafters, artists, um, different things along those lines that all work within those walls as well.
And then too, if you're on Facebook, Warrior Woodworks. I've been checking that out a lot more lately. Our buddy Nate brought that up to us. That guy does a lot of woodwork. It's fantastic. It's very well done. You can tell. So I would definitely encourage everyone to look into that. And it was kind of a
Absolutely.
quick episode, I would say, this week. But when there's only two people talking and not three, sometimes it'll be a little quicker. But we want you to push yourself to the limit. Give yourself an edge, as Jeremy said earlier, whether it be with nutrition, mental health, physical fitness, whatever it is that you want out of life. And then we also would like, to welcome everybody back next week, as we will. I don't know. Are we doing a fun one next week again? Is it
Um,
is next week music
no, I
week or is
don't
something else?
think so. Let me find my list. It's here somewhere. Um,
I was drawing a blank.
no, next week we're gonna talk about carbs, it looks like.
Carbs.
So, yeah, yeah. If I had
Okay.
to go pull up my notes, yep. And then we're gonna go into some music,
The week
into some
after.
music stuff after that.
Okay, so
Yes.
next week
So,
you're gonna get a cast about carbohydrates. The week after we'll dive into our music preferences that you didn't ask for, but you're gonna get them anyways. And then so we hope to see you
absolutely.
back. And if whether it's serious or fun, let us know what you would like us to talk about, whether it be on Facebook, our YouTube channel, X, and we don't do Instagram, but Nate should be doing TikTok after he's done with his other job stuff he's doing right now. And obviously visit us at
Correct.
infiniteedgehealthandwellness.com for any supplemental needs you might need. Jeremy, got anything else you'd like to say to
Absolutely.
anybody?
No, not a lot. Just but yeah, if you have an idea for a topic or anything you want us to discuss, let us know. If you have a small business that you are watching what we do and you wanna let us know, and we're happy to look into what you do and shout you out and push you through as well. So we try to want everybody involved as much as possible.
In saying that, remember everyone, it is starting to become spring. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I'm a little monotone all the time, anyways, but you will start getting, a little sick. So drink that OJ, right? Get your vitamin C in. And we wish
Absolutely.
everyone a great Friday and have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Absolutely.